We are stardust, we are golden. We got to find ourselves back to the garden. It's kind of like the journey of LeKeith Stanfield.
Yo, this movie, incredible.
You know what I mean, though?
You talk about epic and grounded all in one, but also I got to thank you because this is the first time I really felt myself represented in a film like this. So incredible job, incredible performance too, LeKeith. Amazing.
Thank you, bro.
Absolutely. First question for you, Jeymes. Can you talk about the theme of knowledge versus belief in this film?
I mean, Clarence, his whole, and LeKeith would speak on that more, but Clarence's whole ethos is knowledge is stronger than belief. He questions people that say one thing and do another, or they preach one thing and do another. Like Clarence questions that because it's like a person telling you to, man, you got to live right and but smoking a cigarette. Like, man, you believe what you're saying. You don't know it to be true. If you know what you're saying to be true, I'll give you a real quick example. Mike Tyson fighting Michael Spinks, 91 seconds, shortest heavyweight bout in history. It wasn't that he beat Michael Spinks in 91 seconds. That ain't the thing. The thing is what he does after. Knocking out Michael Spinks who had never lost in 91 seconds. He just turns around to his corner and just does this. Michael Spinks believed he was going to win. Mike Tyson knew he was going to demolish him. Knowledge is stronger than belief. Always look for knowledge.
Well said. LeKeith, you turned in two brilliant performances in this film. One is Clarence and one is Thomas. And you do such a great job of adding these nuances to both. Can you talk about the challenges of finding those nuances in their similarities and also their opposites?
Thank you. I just think, we exist in a universe of polarities and, one's lights and others dark. And I think once you kind of figure out one character, which I don't even know if I ever really figure out a character, but once I get like a good feeling about them, then I can kind of, sort of draw their shadows from that. And so I tried to draw shadows from both and infuse those into the characters to make for an interesting dynamic among them. And it was a very nuanced methodology to it. So the fact that you're able to see that, I'm quite appreciative of. But really, I feel like in one way or another that both of the characters already live within me.
Sure.
There are times where I feel very Thomas-like and times where I feel very Clarence-like. Most times I feel very Clarence Thomas-y.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. You obviously have such a successful career in music as well. And from what I read is you gave the actors kind of like playlists to help them with their character story arcs. Can you talk to me about some of the tracks you chose specifically for Clarence for the playlist?
With Clarence, I find a lot of like Joni Mitchell stuff and Terry Callier, Dancing Girl, from Terry Callier's What Color Is Love. He has a song called Dancing Girl, right? And that song is, to me, very Clarence. It's almost like he's singing as Clarence to his Verinia. And in alignment with that, Terry Callier, who passed away in 2012, before he passed away, him and I met, and I told him about this movie I'm going to do one day when I grow up. This is 100 years ago. And I wrote the song Verinia, and he sung it for me for the soundtrack before he passed away. And it's on the soundtrack, Terry Callier singing Verinia. And Terry Callier, Dancing Girl, is part of Clarence's playlist. I find like a lot of Joni Mitchell speaks to Clarence. Incidentally, if you listen to Joni Mitchell, a lot of it speaks to LeKeith Stanfield. Like just his, as if you listen to Woodstock, we are stardust, we are golden. We got to find ourselves back to the garden. It's kind of like the journey of LeKeith Stanfield.
Jeymes is a brilliant director. He's a visionary, absolute visionary. What did his directing style add to this film?
It was the film. I think it was born out of Jeymes' idea. You read the script and you're hearing Jeymes, and it's a really beautiful thing when you can have the director show up on set and speak exactly how the characters speak. There's a sense of that, and it's nice because I get to watch Jeymes and then I get to knowingly infuse him into the character, which is really beautiful because I know that it's him and it's his imagination filtered through me. So his godship through me creates this new thing. And I think it's just really, it's a real gift because not a lot of people, A, retain that because they're not connected to the material in that way, or B, facilitate a performance that can join the two things. So it's a real gift, and it's an actor's treat to be able to work with a visionary like that.
It's also a viewer's treat to see a film like this because it's absolutely incredible. So thank you.
Thank you. But I like to say also though, with you, you have to see the Book of Clarence on a big screen.
Oh yeah,
and see what LeKeith Stanfield done to with both characters, because when you cast a character, you give it away. LeKeith's story is very very much like it's a personal story to him. But in watching what you done, it's so far removed from what in my brain especially when I found LeKeith Stanfield, and I was kind of now I've got LeKeith in mind, but I'm still doing a real cheap LeKeith Stanfield impression until the dude himself embodies. I know we've only got some, but he comes in and all of this nuance. So there's things that he may take from me in the telling of that story, but then there's this whole life of LeKeith he brings to Clarence that is one, not in the page. 2, not in the story. 3, I could never have predicted. Someone said to me, "Is this the movie you wanted to make, Jeymes?" No, it's not at all. I didn't aim to make this movie. I aimed to make the Book of Clarence. What this guy brought, oh my goodness, is a whole... And you're Thomas. Sometimes I wanted to punch Thomas in the face. Other days, I loved it, but I felt him at all times. Anyway.
I mean, look, I wanted to be an apostle of Clarence as well. So
until Thomas goes, "It's not apostle, by the way. It's apostle."
Honestly, incredible job.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely phenomenal. And
thank you. You have to see this guy on the big screen.
Have to. It's a must.
What a treat.
Absolutely.
LeKeith Stanfield from the opening scene brings you into the Bible days. He's just it's just a tour de force of a performance, and him as both characters. It's something that I did not write. I didn't write that stuff. Not that stuff. The voice you use is when you're laughing. It's Thomas. It's you have to see it to believe it.
Look, thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it.